Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking. I hope that you're all doing okay. Today's the 20th of May of 2025. I would like to wish my friend Anna a very happy birthday, an amazing solar return with everything that she desires. And of course, we're on the last day of the Taurus season, my dear friends. As you can see, the sun is at the 29th degree and 40 minutes, ready to step into the sign of Gemini. Happy birthday, my beautiful Gemini friends, as well. If you're feeling that things are quite uneasy and a little bit stuck, and it's quite stressful. It's been stressful. We do have Saturn here at the 29th degree and 37 minutes of Pisces. We've got Lilith at 29 minutes of Scorpio. We've got the Sun at 29 in opposition to Black Moon Lilith. So, and this is peaking at this time. I am doing this reading at 1:51 p.m. on the 20th of May, Greek time, so 2 hours back UTC time, as the moon is at the 29th degree of Aquarius, and we've got a T-square here. So this is the last quarter square of the sun and the moon, right? The lunation cycle, and it's never easy when we've got that last quarter square, because obviously the sun and the moon connected with that new moon in Taurus, which wasn't an easy new moon, if you remember, at the end of April. So, having so many energies at that 29th degree can't be easy. Okay, and we've also got, and I feel today that I need to point this out to you, Jupiter at the 26th degree, which is a late degree in Gemini, is in a T-square, so squaring off to the nodal axis. North node in Pisces, south node in Virgo. It's like the past and the present. As we know, the south node is the past, the north node is the future collective consciousness. We all are part of the collective, so we're all feeling this. Jupiter is information. Jupiter is that bigger picture. Could be anything to do with lessons, learning. Jupiter is in full in Gemini. He's away from Sagittarius, in which he rules. So he's in his full position. Now, many of you Gemini people may be saying, Jupiter is the planet of abundance and luck and expansion and opportunities and protection and even justice. Why haven't I received my gifts? As I said, Jupiter is in full, not in a good position in Gemini, but he's going to start giving out those gifts, I do believe, as he's coming to complete his transition through Gemini. And early June, he's stepping into Cancer. But right now, it's like we're needing to see the bigger picture, not get stuck on the little finer details, I would say. And it's got to do with the past and the future. What are you going to choose? This could be a choice, and it may feel stressful at this time, and especially emotionally. Of course, the moon moves quickly, and the moon is ready to ingress into Pisces. The moon is going to connect with Saturn, as Saturn on the 25th. So in 5 days from now, Saturn will join Neptune in Aries. So it's the mutable signs that will have a deep breath. They will sort of be feeling a little bit relieved as Saturn will leave Pisces. So the mutable signs, of course, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, and Sagittarius. It hasn't been easy at all for the mutable signs. Anyway, we could keep talking on the astrology for quite some time. We do that on Patreon. So if you're not on Patreon, do consider joining us there. So I just wanted to point out a few things relative to the astrology. we've got some positive aspects as well. Not everything is, you know, cutthroat and, you know, I can't do this anymore and I'm just under so much pressure. We've got the good and the bad. That's how spirit works. Sometimes the energies are more challenging than others. It's the way spirit works. And remember, we're here in this incarnation. It's all about learning. It's all about being taught things. Now today we're going to be using the Black Moon astrology, which we haven't used for a while, and the Mythic Oracle. So we'll see what the advice is. So let's see how the transiting planets, of course, this is a general reading, and the transiting planets could be affecting you personally in a different way. The collective may be a little bit more challenging than the personal. So it depends on how the transiting planets are affecting your personal birth chart as to your own personal story. So dear Spirit, thank you for your guidance. We did on Wednesday, last Wednesday, of course, we did the love reading. I did get back to most of you, I think, with your personal love message. And we are choosing people for a quick Lenormand email reading. So keep commenting beneath. I have been very busy. We have been very busy with our kitties. They're doing well, the 3 that have survived. Fingers crossed. They've got a good appetite. They're starting to groom themselves very, very little bit, and go to the toilet by themselves, but not quite yet. So I think we need another week. Thank you for your wishes relative to the raising and the survival of these kitties, which is a huge job. It really is. Thank you so much for your love and your support. Let's see what's going on energetically speaking. What is the message? What comes through? Lunar eclipse and change. You know, a lunar eclipse, of course, is a full moon. And possibly, you know, as the planets move through Pisces and Virgo, since that's where the eclipses are happening now, obviously something's been triggered, which is bringing a closure, because lunar eclipses are full moons, plus also a possibility of things that have been hidden being shown to us, which we're seeing that there is change. Okay, there is change, but it doesn't come easily. Eclipses are never easy. There's something being eclipsed from our life. So the eclipses, there's an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, could be any. I mean, we've got Venus in Aries, you know, we've got Chiron there. Any planets that pass over, even past eclipses, you know, just recently we've been having the eclipses on the axis Aries, Libra. So a lunar eclipse there may be activated as well. But generally speaking, this speaks to a completion point. Something is being eclipsed, something is being shown. We're being enlightened on something. Maybe that will help us through change. Remember, eclipses are very, full moons are very stressful. It's the solar eclipses that are more about things happening around us and in our environment. This is talking more about the emotional body. So let's see what else. And it is a 43, which equals a 7, and 7s are always conflictual, never easy. 7 is the 7th house, which could be Libra, relationships, partnerships. But 7 is also the Chariot, so it could be a change of home, change of, you know, where you reside, where you live. Wow. And we've got Saturn and truth. How can things be easy when we've got Saturnian energy, when we've got a lunar eclipse here? And obviously we've had, let me just go to that just for a second, because, okay, let's see, we had a total lunar eclipse on the 14th of March at 24 degrees of Virgo. which is where the lunar south node is heading towards that degree. So there's something to do with this area of our charts, right? That there's something that we're releasing, obviously, here. And we also had a partial lunar eclipse on the 18th of September at 26 degrees of Pisces, which is only 3 degrees away from where Saturn is, but also the lunar north node is there. So something is changing, and it does reference us back to even September of last year. So September and March. So what was going on for you there? Saturn brings truth. It could be difficult truths. Now this is a number 6. 6 is also the lovers. So of course relationships. Let's see what else. And we've got earth element and stability. So whatever is changing, whatever is completing, and that we may be leaving behind, some sort of truth. You know, Saturn is a not something to do so much, because Saturn can do with can speak to our emotions, low, feeling emotionally very low and depressed. But Saturn is also more physical, more tangible, right? Saturn, remember, rules the natural 10th house of Capricorn, and that's, you know, our goals and what we aspire to accomplish. So work could be related as well. But the 10th house is also someone's reputation as well as our social standing. Saturn also rules the moon, as the moon is in Aquarius now, and Aquarius is about truth. So something is going to be revealed. Now, something to do with truth, and then we've got a 38, which equals an 11. It's like an open portal. 11, again, is the house of Aquarius. Could be dealing with people that we socialize with through social media. We could be also seeing something that is not easy to fathom, not easy to digest, but it does bring like a revelation, like a release relative to the past, which helps us go through change. Saturnian changes and truths are never easy. We have to have received the lesson. Saturn is the Lord of Karma, a difficult teacher, but he will bring us something more stable and long-term, right? It's like an open portal that opens. Yeah, and 11, of course, is also justice. So anything to do with legalities, anything to do with money, earned income after career as well. And we've got Libra balance. So whatever is changing, whatever we're leaving behind will bring us a sense of balance, justice, where relationships, partnerships, I mean even business partnerships are concerned. So let's see what else we've got. So Virgo, Pisces, Capricorn, Aquarius, Taurus, of course, Capricorn and Libra come through very strongly. Let's see what's going on. And I'm using a little mini Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot deck. It's in a metal case. Love this deck. I haven't used it for a while. And let's see what's coming through. What are the messages? I hope you're all doing fine. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Make sure that you're being notified. Maybe unsubscribe and subscribe again. Press that notification bell. YouTube does tend to not notify everyone. That's obvious. So make sure you're receiving the notifications. Dear Spirit, what is going on today? What is going on? Four of Pentacles, the miser, money issues, holding back on one's emotions. The challenge is someone needing to see the light. The challenge is that someone's holding back, not communicating. They've gone within. They're seeking advice. They're seeking that inner wisdom, or the wisdom from without. Let's see, this could be professional advice for money, anything to do with a home, with someone's financial or even emotional stability. This could also be someone that is holding back on speaking, sharing information about seeing either a doctor. This could be a doctor with relative to our physical body or to our psychological or even emotional body. So this could be any doctor. This could also be someone that is doing their detective work, and they're not open about what they're doing in secrecy. I'm getting here. Five of Pentacles, crowning. From the past, we've got the Knight of Wands, Sagittarius energy. Something to do with beliefs, something to do with of course, Pentacles speak to materialism and our finances, but it's also, they also do have to do with our perception, and possibly hear our beliefs, because Sagittarius comes through very strongly. Remember what I was saying, that Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius in Gemini, which could be a lack of communication, a lack of sharing information or news, someone being in the dark, either themselves searching for the light or holding back on their truth, on their information, not sharing what they're going through. Because this is also a difficult card, right, which is in the crowning position. Recent past, Six of Wands. That could be a little bit of ego. Leo comes through. Possible outcome is the Two of Cups here. This could be someone that is well known and renowned in their community, someone that's been successful in business, and therefore that could also be a weak spot, that, I'm the high and mighty, successful person, even though I'm going through all of this. I'm not sharing that because it is a sign of weakness. So I'm going through my own shadow moment, phase in my life, and not sharing that because it's a sign of weakness. This could also speak to business contracts, right? So being in a partnership where there hasn't been mutual reception, mutual understanding, also, hiding money. So in partnership, things not flowing, and maybe there have been imbalances. Okay, because the earth element also speaks to money. So some truths are going to be revealed, whether this is a business partnership or a love relationship, or if not a love relationship, it could be a family or a friendship, right? Let's take more cards. So this could be a message of truth. Remember the earth element and stability. This is what I'm learning. This is what I'm studying. We do have a teacher and a student here. So again, even where learning is concerned, primary education, higher education, these could be decisions about, I want to succeed in my life. I need to travel, but my money is not helping me move towards what I want. This could be help. It could be health, because this could be help coming from someone that is in a position that can help. Saturn, remember, could be someone that is older, an older individual helping. So that's the story that I'm getting here. Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups. If this is relative to choices in love, we do have two different archetypes here. We've got a Knight of Wands someone who is more free loving. They need their freedom. Someone who doesn't want to settle down, someone that wants to play, they want to flirt, right? Someone who maybe doesn't want to settle down because their work could be this could be someone who travels the world, and they can't, build a home. And we see that here as well, right? The Four of Pentacles. I can't give you the security that you're wanting, let's say. Knight of Cups would be someone that's more romantic, more emotionally, I'm not going to say stable, more emotionally fluctuating. Their emotions go up and down, but they are more romantic. They're more open heart and more sacrificing. So if you've got a choice between two people, right, that would be a dilemma. Remember Jupiter in that T-square. Do I go with a past connection, someone who I've been connected with in the past, someone who couldn't give me stability, or someone maybe that had a chip on their shoulder? Could be a new person. Of course, we've got the past position here. So how far in the past will be different for each. Okay, that's your own personal story. Let's take one more here. Nine of Swords. A lot of stress and anguish here. If this is not a choice, this could be someone not being able to offer. Because look, Wands and Cups, very creative, very much about what I desire to create. Going from fire to water. Fire is inspiration, creation. Water is more the vision, more that subtle ability to create, more recessive, where fire is more active. So this could be within your own life as well, if this is not including someone else. This could also have been a wrong choice made in the past, having made a wrong choice, having made the wrong choice, which obviously would bring this energy to the now. Someone seeing the choice that was made, the choice that they made, maybe was a mistake. There was a lesson to learn. Saturn does teach us hard, cold truths. And that's all about maturing and going through that maturation process. So this could be doubts in success. But look, we've got the 9 and then the 8. So it's like going back and forth with the past. Having doubts that what I'm creating, what I'm wanting to manifest, what I'm wanting to stabilize, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's a partnership, right? Whether it's a friendship, it's like a back and forth. I don't know if I will be able to deliver or to manifest my dream. Let's take one more here, because we see this is negative thinking, and there's a stoppage here. I mean, Knight of Pentacles, Virgo. There's perfectionism. There's needing to do things by the book, insisting on, I'm planning, I'm strategizing. We see here all the earth cards are not easy. They're not easy cards, which is telling me that, because even in the past we had the Knight and then we go back to the Page. You see, there's a back and forth. So this is like a cycle that we're going through, and maybe we've been given an opportunity to receive the lesson, to see the truth, to look at the truth and not fear the truth. Remember, this is all about slow, steady paced and promise for the future, but it's like taking 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back. And we've got 3 knights here. And knights are all about action, but we see there was more action in the deep past than in the recent past. So things have really come to a halt, to a slowdown, even to a halt. And that's why we've got these energies here. But this is promising. Let's take one more. And we've got the 3 of Pentacles here, which is like an opening, even though we go from the 4 to the 3 again. Obviously, there is the involvement of others here. So, we don't live on this earth by ourselves. We're obviously affected by others, the energy of others, the relationships that we have, right? So I love the fact that we've got the 2 of Cups here, even if it's in the reverse, let's say, and we don't take reversals here. There is a potential for coming, and coming into balance and meeting halfway and seeing eye to eye. There is a potential here. Now, I would say that this could also be, for some of you, 2 people that are separated, that are not in each other's energy, not in each other's lives at this time, but they're living their own shadow. They're going through their shadow journey, let's say, their difficult lessons, but they're doing that in a parallel way, like in a mirroring way, if you get what I mean. And that means to me that obviously the work needed to be done. Something needed to be closed up, to be seen, which is very difficult for those 2 parallel lines to cross, to meet, right? And that takes work, that takes difficult lessons, maturity, and living in the reality and not in the dream. So being real, right? I love the fact that we've got Libra here and it says I balance. So the promise is that there will be balance. Now, when the timing could be off, not everyone is on the same level. So much Earth has come through. Earth speaks to stability and grounded and reality, getting grounded. 9 of Pentacles, 3 of Cups. This is like I succeed on my own, so I can prove that I can be whole within my own self, and therefore ready to meet in the middle with my other half, with a person that you are mirroring, let's say. 9 of Pentacles, right? It's a beautiful card. It's like the minor arcana of the Empress, which can say, I'm able, willing, and able. I hold on to my beliefs, even though I've been left out in the cold. I know that it's only a few more steps to go, that we've been through the worst, right? Generally speaking, my dear friends, we've been through the worst. June is not one of the easiest months, but the first half of June is going to give us many opportunities. And I would say summer, if you're living in the northern hemisphere, will give us many opportunities. The energies are getting lighter. We've still got some lessons, some challenges after mid-month of June. So enjoy the opportunities early June, as Jupiter will also, the massive, abundant and protecting archetype Jupiter, which is also about optimism, being very optimistic and not pessimistic. I think that we've been through the worst. We've still got a few difficult moments there towards that second part of June, but we've got the planet of protection, Jupiter, entering Cancer, which will help us all and protect us all. I think that Jupiter will save the day, as Jupiter is in exaltation as he's going to ingress into Cancer. So we'll be helping very greatly the cardinal signs, obviously, and the water signs. So cardinal signs, of course, Cancer, Capricorn, Aries, and Libra, but also the water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces will have the blessings of Jupiter, but also the earth signs will also have the blessings of Jupiter. Earth signs, so Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. God knows if you're a Taurus and you've got planets, or your midheaven or your ascendant is at those the last decan, you haven't had it easy at all. We're coming to the end of that, and especially also the immutable signs with Saturn there can be very difficult. Let's take the outcome. We've got a Three of Cups here, which is crowning, and the Nine of Pentacles. Two amazing cards here. Three of Cups is celebration, moving towards, coming together, celebrating, reconciling our differences. We've done the work, right? We've done the work. We've got the abundance here, the potential for abundance here. We need to keep believing. If we're at the last, most difficult moments, remember the astrology, so many celestial bodies at that 29th degree. Let's look at the Two of Cups here. The end, where is it? Yeah, the change, the end of the darkness, the beginning of the light. Yes, Saturn can be very difficult. I know this turns into the Ace of Swords, which could be a tool that Spirit is giving us. Remember, we go 9, 8, and then 10. So here is the worry in the distant past. Many difficulties here with the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a harder card than the 10 of Swords, right? And going back to the Eight of Swords, which is the negative thought pattern. But here, it's like, I can do this. I've got the ability. I've also got the support of others here. So I've gone through, maybe my beliefs have gone through major change as well. Let's see what else we've got here. There is the 7, which we mentioned in the beginning, the change, the Chariot. Jupiter entering Cancer does promise a lot. This could be a house change, a change of where you've been residing. This is not, this is having decided that, remember the dilemma of Jupiter in a T-square with the nodes. Do I go with the past, continue falling into those old habits that I need to release, because the South node is the Saturn. Saturn is also negative thinking and fears. Or do I follow the North node, which is a Jupiterian energy, and that's in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is the sign of unconditional love and belief. I believe, and I've got that vision that I can take my life to that vision, to that dream. I can manifest, I can create, as long as I'm driving my own chariot, my own life, towards where I want to take it. All right, this is a card of victory. Let's take one more. We've got the Fool card, absolutely beautiful. This is the courage, this is the guts, the stamina of Aries. Remember, this is also a card of Uranus, and Uranus is change, is the great awakener. Now I see. Now I know what I need to release. Now I need to, I know what through these breakthroughs that are coming, because lunar eclipse does bring breakthroughs, that we see what was secret, what was hidden, and what we needed, what's culminated, what needs to change, what we need to release and leave behind. We've grown, we've matured, right? We know that Spirit has our back. Remember that Venus is still in the sign of Aries. So Venus is what we love, who we love. Venus does speak to peace, but going through, being the warrior, god or goddess, let's say, not fearing, looking straight at that open wound as Venus is heading for Chiron, and Chiron is the wound, but it's also the resolution. Now, Venus and Mars are in very positive aspect. So the lovers, or the yin and the yang, we could say. There's a lot of yang here because Mars is in a fire sign, as is Venus. So there's more yang energy that's helping drive this chariot forward. This is the new story. This is the new opening. Remember, the Aries season is the beginning of a new cycle, but it's been stunted, it's been halted, it's been held back. This new beginning, it's like we took one step into the future and kept the other foot in the past. I think that now is the future is here, the new beginning is here. That's the potential. So two major arcana cards with a Two of Cups here. We can find balance, we can come into peace talks as well. And speaking of the world and what's going on with the wars, and you know, that meeting, I don't know if you heard, if you're following the news, right? The meeting of the Ukrainian leader, the Russian leader, and the US leader, right? Whether they're trying to come to a peace agreement, right? Whether they met up or they spoke through a phone call. Let's hope that this will bring the beginning of the end of that war, at least, because there are many wars going on in the world right now. So let's just hope that that sort of sizzles down, that it's watered down, the warlike energies that we've seen erupting, especially with Mars and Pluto in opposition, right? Mars from Leo and Pluto in Aquarius. So Libra and I balance, and we see here 11th house and friends. So support comes from friends, comes from others. So if you're feeling that you cannot do this anymore, do seek the help from others. A friend in need is a friend indeed. And when you come across someone that can't go on anymore because times have been very challenging financially, emotionally, psychologically, then please lend a helping hand. It doesn't cost us anything, right? That is a very important message that I'm getting here. So yes, Aquarius comes through, Libra, and these are air signs. Air speaks to perception, communication, right? And there is Venus and love. Wow. 9th house and faith. Okay. I don't think we'll go any further than that. We've got 9th house and faith. I don't know if you're dealing with a foreigner. This could be someone who is at a physical distance. This could also be someone taking a trip. This could be a meeting. Yes, that, okay, we've done the work now. This could be feeling very abundant. This is what's crowning here. There could be a physical meeting, an emotional meeting, a reconciliation. Venus and love. Venus is very driven relative to what she loves, right? The 11th house is also money that comes through after career. Venus could be anything that we've created, a project. So finding the balance and coming into an agreement. So agreements are also very possible. 9th house and faith. Keep the faith. Let's see emotionally where we're at this time. Oh, my tummy is grumbling. It's lunchtime. It is lunchtime and my tummy is saying, hey, I need energy. Let's see. What's going on in the emotional department? Devotion. So there is an offering here. This reminds me of the Ace of Wands as well. Newt and release. So there's been a stop of devotion, a stop of offerings here. It's like the fire has been put out in the past because of worry, because of, this is the inability to take your desires to the desired outcome, right? There's been a quiet, an emptiness here because someone's going through some sort of death process, a releasing of holding back on their secrets. The mask comes through every single time. So we've got Pisces, we've got a fear of deception I get here. There is a fear of deception, right? Or someone is keeping a very low profile relative to what they've been going through. But now here again is I'm surrendering, I'm taking off the mask, I'm trusting, needing to go with the light and not with the darkness. And that's, to me, says that we need to be more trusting these days and not think that everyone is out to get us, if you know what I mean. Not fearing that there will be deception in every single person, right? This could be because, remember, Neptune has been very recently, those last degrees of Pisces. Neptune now is in Aries. We need to have more confidence and more the will and the drive to move forward and clear those clouds, because that's what Neptune is. Now, Neptune is deception, Neptune is lies. I feel that the fire of Aries can dry up those clouds of Neptune, and we need to have more confidence and more guts in trusting, in believing that the person opposite us will love us unconditionally. Okay, we need to, because what you give is what you receive. That's why they say smile, it is contagious. If you're smiling and saying good morning, then more than likely the person opposite you may not know them, they will smile back. That's how it is. What you give is what you receive. So surrender and trust and believe that maybe there's been also miscommunication here, misunderstandings as well. Surrender and see what happens. Release and surrender. Someone is finishing up with someone that was very deceptive. Maybe they have not communicated that with you. There are regrets for past lies, deception, mistreatment, right? Crossroads. See, there are the crossroads of this T-square with Jupiter. Don't know what to do. And this regret from this divine masculine probably comes from the past. They've been stuck in the recent past. What they're thinking is they want to make up. They want to give you possibly everything that maybe you gave them. Because remember, Pisces is, I've given my soul. I've given that unconditional love, but it was not returned. This is sort of what we need to sort of release as well, because that could be the chip on the shoulder that I've given everything and what I've received was a big zilch, a big zero. I do see, because we know from within us, we know whether we've done good or we've done bad. We know if we've treated people well or we've mistreated people. I do see that people can come to their senses. We've passed through difficult times, so cut people some slack. Maybe try and be a little bit more forgiving. We do see someone with remorse and regret here, but they're at a crossroads. Yeah, they're looking at a new direction, so possibly leaving something that was very difficult behind. Right? And the answer is yes. We see that with the devotion here. In the past there was, yes. And there's a new direction that's open, but maybe has been blocked relative to others, relative to dilemmas, and also mistreatment of others and not being totally truthful. Let's take 3 Lenormand, and then we will take the message from the Mythic Oracle. Yes, we've got a divine masculine, more leaning towards the water sign. This is water and earth, right? And we see it's like the guy next door, the boy next door, someone who's grounded, who's easygoing logically, who's someone who's very romantic, possibly also someone that needs to be, because he's barefoot, obviously, someone who's connecting with the earth, someone who loves the earth, someone who's also connecting energetically, with the earth. So very having gone through an awakening, having been grounded possibly as well. This is someone usually who's quite laid back, can be romantic, can have fluctuating emotions though. See, maybe there has been secrecy, maybe there has been a little bit of sneakiness here, some lies, some deception. Someone who, remember the Knight of Cups, which is usually Scorpio, more so Scorpio. Could be any other water sign, but Scorpio comes through here. He wears that suit of armor for a reason. Obviously, he's been hurt before. Therefore, he's very protective of his heart. And we see that also with the Four of Pentacles. So someone not communicating their, what's true and in their heart, what's going on in their life. Wow. And there we've got the fighter, the courageous. These could be two different people. The more sexual, more desire-driven. He wears Mars on his chest. So if this is the same person, they've changed. Energetically, this is someone that was more recessive, more slow, more thinking, more planning, more strategizing. If not, because we see a change here in the energy, if not, this could be two different people, of course. So let's see. We've got the key, the new cycle, Nine of Cups with the Ace here, lots of communication. There's the devotion. So this could be the same person or this could be two different people. The choice is yours. You would know better than I do. I want to take two more cards on these masculine. Yeah, we see here someone that's more ethical. Yes, we can say that there could be a sexual desire here, all right? Sexual desire, but someone that's not very open emotionally, someone that comes through as more sexual, but also someone who will do things by the book. This is a very Virgoan energy. Let's look at the other masculine. King of Pentacles. And we've got the King of Swords here. So take the messages as they resonate for you. This could be King of Swords or King of Wands. So we've got the knights that have turned into kings. We see the maturing here. So this could also be, if this is someone else, if this is someone that holds the fire, someone that was not ready to settle down, now they're ready to settle down. Yes, this could be someone that has earth and fire. But it's the Ace of Cups. Both the masculine have the Ace of Cups. So there is love, but there's also sexuality, and there's fire, and there's desire. So what can I say? I mean, the fish brings up Pisces. So again, can be the same person. All right? Someone that's ready now to take action. Someone that's going to find an interesting, intelligent way to come back, to return, because of the regrets here. Could be during the night time. What they could also be coming back and communicating, Eight of Cups, that they're leaving a past connection, change of home, someone who was keeping a lot of secrets that will be revealed. Remember the moon and Saturn and truth. Someone's gone through they've gone through heavy lessons. Anyway, my darlings, do pay attention to your dreams as the moon is ingressing into Pisces. when you have this reading, the moon will be transiting through Pisces. So you may have prophetic dreams. If you're dealing with a Pisces, maybe this is the time, as the moon is going to transit the next 2.5 days through the sign of Pisces and pass over Saturn. A lot will be revealed, a lot of truth. So pay attention to that. And something is stabilizing. The earth element here, stability, and the anchor. And the anchor is heavy lessons, Saturnian, but also someone who works a lot. Someone who, what can I say? Someone who's ready to take that next step. They've made their choice. There are the, look at that. Look at the crossroads. Look at the doors. Unbelievable. What a reading. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. Let's take a message from Spirit. What a reading. Gaia is just by my side. She's having a nice nap. I don't know why. Both Gaia and Agape, both of them had a bit of an upset stomach. Wow. Themis. Natural order, number 6. Let's read Themis. The myth. Themis is the goddess of natural order. And that's probably Jupiter as well. The daughter of Gaia and Uranus, she was known for her wisdom and acted as counsel to Zeus. Zeus, who is Jupiter, right? Themis governs the law of nature as opposed to the law of man. When she is dishonored, Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, takes revenge. Wow. The message says here, Themis is the balance of all things. There's the balance. As is nature. All things have a natural order. Day, night, harmony, chaos, birth, death. And when we struggle against this natural order, we become severely out of balance. Justice is balance, and balance comes when there is order. And you know, Saturn is also the Lord of law and order. This is the time to get your life in order, from your home and personal space being clear to your personal and financial paperwork being organized, your diet clean and healthy, and relationships clear and honest. And I'm going to tell you, if that's not the case, then you need to leave that South Node in Virgo. If you've been stuck in trying to get everything organized and just gone overboard, you need to trust, look towards that North Node in Pisces, love unconditionally, even if there is the inability, if there isn't the ability for everything to be perfect. Everything is perfect the way Spirit makes it, right? So there's perfection, I'm going to say, in things that are imperfect. So maybe we need to find the healthy balance and release the need, the necessity of Virgo, because Virgo could be very discerning and very nitty picky and saying that's not perfect, and we're getting stuck in the past. So maybe we need to sort of release that and say everything is as it should. I'm not saying get disorganized. No, I'm just saying that don't get stuck in the South Node, which is our comfort zone, what is very familiar to us, and don't fear moving towards that North Node, which is in Pisces, and trusting and believing that there will always be unconditional love, that our sacrifices will be returned in some way, and that natural order will come into our life. Sooner or later, let's continue reading. Order is necessary right now, and this can take hard work and focus. It is time to look at all the aspects of your life and face them head on. There may be confrontation on both inner and outer levels at the moment, and you may need to chase up bills, confront a person or institution, or deal with personal issues, habits, and beliefs. Justice is not an eye for eye. Justice is the natural order of the universe. We cannot control other people, nor can we control every event that happens in our lives. There are many times that we will experience pain and circumstances that will feel unfair, but in time, all things find their natural way of finding balance, and they do not need to be forced. What you can control is the responsibility that you have to yourself and to do what you believe to be right. If you are clear in your life and honest with yourself, then justice will surely follow. Beautiful message. Absolutely beautiful. So, lots of messages here, my dear friends. I think we'll leave it there. I hope that this helped. I hope that you received at least some advice from Spirit, at least on one theme in your life. There can be a lot of confusion and illusion. Things may still be up in the air, but this is also many opportunities ahead of us. Let's not fear being able to make a choice. Remember, just dig deep, trust your intuition and move forward. Okay? Love and light to all of you. I will be back tomorrow. Make sure you're connecting with us. The love reading is tomorrow. And is there anything else I need to let you know? We're almost at the end, so take a deep breath, continue moving forward, continue fighting for justice, balance, order, fairness. And as long as you know that you've done the right thing, we're all good to go. All right, my friends. So I think that's it. Love and light. I will be back tomorrow. So thank you so much for your love and your loyalty always. Namaste.